Hello, 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 welcome to Firearms of America, and today, as you can see, I have another pair of denier boots to review, and this is Radical 452, which I'm not sure what 452 stands for. Maybe it's a model number, maybe they have a few different Radical boots, but this is Radical 452 from denier. And let me tell you really quickly, if you don't want to watch the whole review, I do like this boots quite a lot. Now, if you have seen any of my other reviews, you know that I do prefer mobility to protection. So I like lighter, boots that are more flexible, that will allow you to be, more flexible with your movements, right? Compared to something that is bulky and heavy and, that kind of restricts that movement but does offer a lot of protection. I think this is a pretty good balance of both, but leaning a little bit more towards the side of the bulkiness with some good protection that is provided. They are waterproof. They are currently $179.95 on Amazon. The link is in the description below if you want to check it out. They are 100% leather nylon. They are waterproof. Not sure if I mentioned that, but this breathable lining is actually GORE-TEX GTX, which is the waterproof fabric that allows some breathability, and there are no problems with sizing at all. So, with all of that kind of brief being said, if you want to make your decision to buy it, get them. Pretty cool design. You're not gonna regret them. Good boots. I like them overall. But if you want to watch the whole review, let's get into it. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. So, the criteria that we're going to judge by are obviously related to those survival situations, right? Imagine if this was the last pair of the boots that you put on before you run out of your house and you walk and run and you don't have a chance to change out those boots and you have to do all of these different things in survival situations, climb, fight, do whatever, right? Would these boots be good? This is what the video is pretty much about. So without further ado, the very first criteria that we're going to talk about is the comfort level. The comfort level, I think, is one of the most important things because, like I said, survival probably involve boots that you're going to be running in, right? Walking for long distances, and obviously wearing them for extended periods of time. The test that I do to personally test each boots that I review on this channel is the same for every boot. It's a 5-mile walk, 3-mile run right after. The total wear time is about 8 hours without taking off the boots. These boots, I really do like the comfort level. I think it's pretty good. It was not as easy to run in these boots as many other boots that are reviewed, the lighter boots, of course. These boots are more on the heavier side, about 23 ounce to be specific. But nevertheless, because the inner sole is pretty good, denier, it's really nothing special whenever it comes to the inner sole. It's not really, ortholite or anything specific like that to kind of give you that impact resistance. It is on a harder side. For example, if you ever had boots with very jelly inner sole, kind of like Skechers, I'm not a big fan of those because it just feels weird. It feels too soft. This is more on a tougher, harder side, but it does take the impact from running pretty good. And the bottom sole, although it is extremely hard to bend it just like this with your bare hands, or maybe I'm just weak today, I'm not sure. It does feel flexible whenever you're running, so it is a pretty good balance. Definitely on the heavier and bulkier side whenever it comes to running, but still doable. I was tired after the 3-mile run, not gonna lie, but walking, it felt natural. It felt good because my feet did not hurt, and I felt the stress from running, but I didn't feel the stress from the boot. You know how sometimes you get the uncomfortable pair of shoes or pair of sneakers that are a little bit too small or something like that, and you're walking for a long time, and after you take them off, you're like, oh god, finally. This wasn't the case with this. Pretty good. So overall, out of 10, I would give it a solid 7 whenever it comes to comfort. They are comfortable, but you know, if you are kind of trying to apply them in different situations, for example running, it becomes a little bit hard just because of the bulkiness and because of the weight. Now number 2, the criteria number 2 is the proofing and protection. This is where these boots do shine because of, you know, all of that bulkiness. With all that bulkiness and with all that weight come all that protection that these boots offer. Now, first of all, the toe cap is abrasion resistant, which I'm, you know, honestly not 100% sure what exactly denier was trying to say with that particular description, but it is a hard toe. As you can see, it will take a lot. It will protect you from some serious impact. Now, it kind of seems like this whole area is hard, but actually it isn't. This area is soft, as you can see, so it's just a harder leather on top, but just this area right here, so just the toe, is definitely hard and will protect you from impact, like from a falling rock or something like that. Pretty good. And the same goes for the heel. It does have a harder insert in there, so it definitely will protect you from, you know, if you slide down, if you know, kind of slip and hit your heel, you do get that protection a little bit. Also with the proofing, as I mentioned in the beginning, it is GORE-TEX, as you can see, GORE-TEX, which is this special fabric right here. It is a pretty cool system. It allows the breathability, but at the same time it is water resistant, so you do have waterproof boots, which is nice. As you can see, this GORE-TEX fabric, it goes all the way up here, so you know, if you step in, what is it, 4.5 inches deep puddle, your feet not gonna get wet. So pretty good in that aspect whenever it comes to the proofing and protection. Now let's talk about the quality and the design features. Quality wise, these boots are pretty good. They do feel nicely made. There aren't any places where you can see some glue sticking out or some you know, bad just strings hanging out or something like that. And you know, buying a brand that you can trust is kind of good, and I do trust denier because I did have what, 3 pairs so far from denier, and they have all been great. I do especially like their Tachyon boots. I did the review on them. If you want to check it out, I did on both a basic version and then the GORE-TEX version, and I loved both of them. Both of them were amazing. So I do trust this brand whenever it comes to quality. And the same thing, if you want to check the Amazon reviews, you can take a look. The link is in the description below. There are over 600 reviews, 5-star reviews on Amazon, so that kind of says a lot about quality. Now the design features here, I can mention that you can buy 3 different color configurations. There is the olive, there is a lighter brown, and this is the darker brown version, which I kind of like the most, you know, whenever it comes whenever it comes to color. But again, this review is for ultimate survival, so I don't really concentrate too much on, you know, the design aspect of how it look, but more of how it perform. And there is one thing that I especially like about these boots, about how they perform, is their strings. They are very good. It's very easy to tighten the strings. As you can see, I guess it has to do with the hardware that they use, which is metal, and it is very, you know, it's very easy to tighten them. It doesn't take a lot of time. And one thing that I like is whenever you're tightening these boots, they kind of gradually and evenly tighten throughout basically the whole area where the string is. So that's really nice. It kind of, it is a small thing, but again, whenever it comes to your survival situations, it is an important one, because you never know, you might not have a lot of time to put on the boots, and if you have the boots that are easy and fast to put on, pretty amazing. I don't know if you guys heard of BOA system from Red Wing. They have this really cool string system where it's all you need to do is just tighten the knob, and it automatically tightens all the strings throughout the boot. It's just awesome. I wish more boot companies, shoe companies, implemented that in specifically in, because they use them in the work boots. I wish they implemented them in hiking and tactical boots, because that system is so cool. Anyway, got a little bit off topic there. Let's talk about number 4, which is also very important. It's the outsole. Traction and stability. I think it is a pretty good balance between the aggression and flatness, although I do have to mention that this particular outsole is more on the flatness side. It's not as aggressive as I wish it was. I wish there was a little bit more aggression. They perform very well on most of the surfaces that I've tested, you know, the wet grass, the rocky road, sand, asphalt. Pretty good, you know, the trail roads, that it definitely does perform very well. And because there is more flatness, they are pretty stable on shiny surfaces like tile and marble. But I just wish there was a little bit more aggression, at least in some spots, in some grooves, because I did feel a little bit unstable on surfaces like wet grass, you know, the slippery surfaces. And obviously these boots, they do, you know, they are pretty warm, right? So it's something you can wear in the winter. So obviously you would expect to walk through the snow and the ice. These boots will be just a tad bit slippery on the ice and on the snow, just because they just don't have enough of that grippiness in them. So on the outsole, I would say, you know, I would give them 6 out of 10. I would say it's a decent balance, but I think they do need a little bit more of the aggression. And that brings us to the number 5, which I mentioned, the winter. It's the temperature. Now, they are not very insulated, so don't expect to wear them in, you know, negative 30s or something like that, in like extreme colds. But nevertheless, you know, in a nice winter day, you'll definitely be fine. Now, it's not a problem for me because I live in Florida. We always have, you know, warm weather over here. It never gets cold. But wearing something like this, I think it would be perfect more for a warmer climate. They definitely are breathable. You don't get overheated in these boots. But, you know, with some good insulated socks, you can probably get away in some colder winter temperatures. Let's talk about the number 6. Is the sizing. These boots are definitely true to the size. Now, I always wear 9.5 with all my shoes and sneakers, but I buy my boots in 10. Just give yourself, you know, extra half. It's good for, you know, the boots, especially boots that you're planning to walk a lot in, which is what boots, you know, hiking boots are for example, for instance. And obviously in your survival situations, expect to walk a lot. So that half a size will go a long way. You will thank me later. Now, number 7, I think, is the most important one whenever it comes to the survival situation. Is the balance of application. The balance of application. You know, we talked about you putting on these boots fast, walking out or running out of your house, walking for weeks until you get to the safe space, maybe climbing something on the way up, right? Or you're fighting somebody, I don't know, on the way there. All sorts of these different scenarios, whatever you can come up with. If you combine all of the scenarios together and look at these boots, would these boots be good overall? You know, are they balanced enough? I think this boots is a pretty good choice. Indeed, they are a pretty good choice for your survival situations. Now, it comes down everything to the personal preference. You know, what would you prefer more? Would you prefer to have that reinforced toe and the heel, or, you know, less of all of this different kinds of protection, but more of lightness so that you can run faster, just be more, you know, mobile, you know, mobility, improve your mobility, right? I think it is a pretty good balance for the survival situations because they do offer all of the different protections. Waterproof, definitely a nice plus. The outsole is definitely pretty good, like I've mentioned. A little bit lacking on the aggression, I think. Just my personal opinion, you know. But overall, I think they are pretty good. Nice quality, nicely built. So whenever it comes to the balance of application, I can give this boots a solid 7 out of 10. And then the last one that brings us to the last one, the number 8, is the price. The price is $180. I think the price is definitely fair, you know, with all of the features that it provides, with the quality, the build quality, the materials that are being used. And obviously, you know, the brand name that you can trust. Definitely a fair price, 180. But here's the thing, there is a lot of competition in that price range. You know, for $180, you can find some pretty amazing boots for your survival scenarios, just like for your, you know, just regular hiking needs, if that's really all you're interested in. So look around. I have some really cool boots out there reviewed on this channel from Under Armour, from Salomon, from Keen, and they are in the same price range. And I think it really comes down to your personal preference, to what do you feel, you know, more towards, right? Because sometimes we do have that feeling, you see something and you're like, wow, this is it right here, you know. So if you do have that feeling for these boots, go for them. I am 90% sure that you will like them because they are comfortable, they do offer all of this good protection, and they do feel really nice in your hands. But if you are unsure and this is your price range, like I said, check out some other options that are available out there. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. You know, this is still a growing channel, so every comment definitely counts. You know, I read all of them. I try to reply all of them, and if you have any requests for any reviews, definitely let me know. I will be happy to try to address them if I can get my hands on the product. And definitely subscribe because, like I said, this is still a growing channel. Thank you very much for watching. This was Firearms of America, and I'll see you guys in the next video.